So on screen should be the code snippet that I used for the item you're about to see. I don't know if Future Jordan is going to use the thumbnail, but pause if you need to look at it for a moment. I'm really just picking, several effects. I was thinking about giving an empty bottle too, but because the empty bottle is actually quite useful on its own, I decided not to do that. So as we actually get Zigtask Curious Birthmark, we're going to save Aaron and Amnesia for later, but yeah, let's work with this. So, my goodness, let's get into this Nurse Miku run. So, the only other thing to mention as I am on Curious Birthmark is that if I need to actually release this publicly, well, through the Discord really, if I can throw it up somewhere, because the thing is, I guess through Nexus mods I could do, but let's just get into the run and I'll talk about it later. So as we get into Zektask Curious Birthmark with this custom character, but it's just Miku in a nurse outfit, we can start with the syringe, and now that you've seen that I've changed this, so pause if you, again, if at any moment pause if you want to look at something. I'll usually try to leave things up for about like 3 to 5 seconds. But all you need to know is that I added another item for a chance to drop. They're not all positive, by the way, as you'll see if I ever get it, but Takshi-san, second encounter, knowledge, charisma, second mystery, and maybe a strength check. But on top of the fact that you have to be using the syringe to get the items to drop, unless a bug happens when I release this publicly and someone finds out, we'll see. Then, yeah, it's not all positive. It could be positive, but even the new item, you have to use it to maybe get a benefit. Otherwise, you can just throw it at an enemy. So we get Mermaids, Vigil, Shibas, and Diver. So let's move on. Diver, and yeah, Diver, Mermaid's Vigil. We can try fighting the janitor. I don't want to though, so but we save Festival for 4th. We'll consider it. So yeah, we'll take Shiva's first. Probably Diver 3rd, maybe Mermaid 2nd, we'll see. But otherwise, we're gonna walk forward. We'll prepare just for an energy drink here. I could have changed the prepare item. I probably should. If I'm going to make a perm version of Nurse Miku, because I might as well use all of the what would make sense for Miku in the perm plugin if there is a perm version of her. And it's really simple. All you need to, for those who don't know, or forgot, or want to know, you just have to make a separate Ito file, for characters anyway. So basically you copy paste the character Ito file that you have, and then you just put your changes there if you want to do something on your own. For me, I'm probably just going to upload a version, another version of an Ito, or another Ito file that's Nurse Miku but has perm changes in it. And it's really just going to be like several lines at most. So that being said, I forgot, I know I've been told this before and I've read it before, but I think most of the changes from the perm plugin, barring things that you may put in the custom folder, if you try using it in base World of Horror without the perm plugin being used, it'll just ignore it most of the time, which is great. You don't want something to crash when you add in a mod, unless of course you can then, the band-aid fix is normally to just explicitly say that, I was focusing on whether or not I needed to drink that water, by the way, just put out some message that says, hey, you shouldn't use this mod, DLC, so on and so forth, with something else in the game, or the game itself. Do I want to? Yeah, mermaids first, we'll do divers later. Maybe we get adrenaline, maybe we don't. We didn't fight a single enemy, by the way, which makes me sad, because I'm trying to proc these items. But on the other side of that, I mean, if you don't, it's nice to see what happens if I don't run into any enemies to fight. That way I can at least see the balance, if that makes any sense. By the way, my knowledge decreased, right? Yeah, no, it did not. We do get Blood Frenzy now because of Curious Birthmark. That might be better for me. Depends if we get something after this battle. So we get Eldritch Juice, and this is the item. So as you can see here, mainly to, if you want to be safe, you just use it to throw. I don't think you can sell it. Yeah, it's supposed to be illicit anyway. But whether you throw it or use it, you're not going to get an empty bottle back. So that's intended, because that would actually be quite strong. Even on Harbinger difficulty, in my opinion, at least. And then when you use it, yeah, you randomly get a stat increase or decrease. Now, it's pretty much 50-50 what you're going to, whether something's going to increase or decrease, but you'll note that I did not allow dexterity to decrease, and knowledge can only decrease. So inversely, dexterity can only increase at a chance, or knowledge will never increase. So that's on purpose, just to kind of play around with Miku, because, well, Miku, as it turns out, has low knowledge, and her dexterity and perception is normally higher, and strength. I mentioned perception here because I was thinking about increasing perception as well, but decided not to do it. So also, that's right, we are on Zigtask. That's why our stats are fluctuating so much. So I could drink this Eldritch Juice and be cool, but otherwise, if knowledge decreases, that actually hurts me quite a bit. And that's at a 25% chance, but Or I could just throw it, which is what I can do here to get out of this encounter quicker. And also keep our Doom low. But we get another bottle of Eldritch Juice. It's supposed to be like a small bottle, so but it still does damage when thrown. So hey. That being said, I didn't mean to equip the box cutter. And I think you have to, again, I didn't test out this syringe extensively, so for all intents and purposes, maybe it is still proccing something on inventory, but that would be weird because based on what I know in its Ito file, it can only proc its item effect, or item grabbing effect, or generating effect on when it's equipped if you win against an enemy. So both of those has to be true. You can't run from an enemy and you get an item. You can't lose, obviously, because then that's the end of the run, but just saying it out here now so that's said, yeah, if anything were to happen, that's strange, like you have the syringe in inventory, but you defeat an enemy and you get an item, please let me know if I release this publicly. We're gonna notice the face here for Doom. We are Miku, so all things considered, our stats will be relatively fine. The problem is that we're also on Curious Birthmark, so we can get a stat decrease instead. So I really should just increase knowledge here, just to be safe. So off we go. Now, what fun would we have if we didn't try to drink the Eldritch Juice at least once? We probably should at this point. I probably should have done it earlier. And yeah, we lost a point in knowledge, or we were supposed to lose a point in knowledge. Now I'm scared. Should have been. Did it decrease? I feel like it decreased. If it didn't decrease, well, I guess I can review the footage. But you at home can also play along and see what happens to my face. Now, at this point, we definitely will lose the run at 63% Doom. So, yeah, that's because I leveled up and just increased knowledge, I believe. So that's why I think my knowledge did decrease. That would be really weird, because I'm looking at the Ito file right now, and as I fail a luck check, boy oh boy, at least we can maybe get Eldritch Juice or the other item, but I think we're just going to go all out here. Yeah, we're just going to go all out here. So if you take a point of stamina damage, so be it. I don't think we could have one-shot that, actually, unless I just went absolutely crazy. I don't know. I'm getting a lot of Eldritch Juice. This is a lot of 33%. I swear it's working as intended. We're gonna drink this again. And we get a point in strength. Hey, it worked out, but I lost a point in knowledge, so I do have to make that up somewhere. But, anywho, I forgot succeeding that decreases stamina. I distinctly remember that because I remember hating going to the seaside for custom events, and that's the reason why. But, as we examine the ooze and lose reason, are we going to be okay here? I might have to throw the empty bottle. We also have a carpenter hammer that we can now throw. So, I guess we're going to find out how, because I'm pretty sure the boss fight is forced, question mark? Ooh, there's a lot of damage as well. In fact, I can't even take this damage without losing the run. But, we do have adrenaline. It's not great, though. Yeah, we still have to run here. We'd lose less by running. And I can't even visit the monument, actually, because we have low stamina, low reason, and I don't want to give away these funds. So, as we continue to lose more stamina, we're just going to take this in the face, I guess. This might be a short video. So this is all damage, I believe. Nope, it's stamina damage. So we're going to... do I want to brace? No, because we could do more damage just throwing out attacks here. We're definitely going to throw the carpenter hammer regardless. We did miss quite a bit of attacks. Yeah, we missed a lot of attacks is what I'm trying to say. Are we going to be okay here? No, the answer is no. I guess we go for a dodge. It's the best we've got. And can't even do it strong. Wow, okay. So this is 7 damage, so if I hit this syringe attack and I dodge this attack, we'll be fine. If not, I guess that's the end of the video for now, because I showed you all the Eldritch Juice! Ah!